Thank you so much. Well, we just talked about this. Tomorrow is May Day, actually, and thousands of people are expected to flood streets and cities nationwide. It's the day when they start protesting either the proposed immigration laws or a lack of action to stop illegal immigrants. And, of course, Arizona's new controversial immigration law is adding fuel to the fire for all of these May Day protests that are scheduled in downtown Los Angeles. More than 100,000 marchers are expected there. Police say they're ready, though, in case things get out of hand. Here in San Diego, most likely we're going to get about the same amount of people, maybe more. There are over 100 protests or gatherings planned where there will be speeches and so on. And many say the reason that this immigration issue is boiling over is because of the situation in Arizona right now. Joining me on the phone is our San Diego area Congressman Brian Bilbray. Good morning.
Good morning, Ross. Good morning, Sandra.
One of the things that they're saying is that the reason it's boiling over is because Washington isn't fixing it. I know you've been working for a long time to try to get a fix, but at the same time, there still is no fix at this point, and instead we're taking this to the streets now. What are your concerns about that?
Well, my concerns is that Washington has been held hostage over trying to provide the amnesty as a condition of doing anything. And I think the one thing, like your last interview really points out, the consensus around the country is that the employment system is obviously the big draw. And if we can stop illegal employment, if we can initiate a system that separates those who are qualified to work in the United States from those don't, and stop the illegal employers, we can not only stop the illegal immigration, but then we can allow those people that want to come here, work, and go home to get into the system, just like they were saying. We try to do too much right at the border, but the interior enforcement, cracking down on the true source of illegal immigration, that's illegal employment, has been ignored and pushed to the side. And frankly, in defense of Arizona, remember 2 years ago, they administered or made it their law that every employer in Arizona today uses the E-Verify system before they hire somebody, just like the federal government, just like members of Congress. If the rest of the country would have been allowed to go into that system by Congress, you wouldn't hear so much of this, because so much of the attraction for people to come here illegally would have been shut down. And also, Ross, that would allow people to come here, work at one job under a guest worker program, because we know then they can't jump ship and go over and start working in construction when they were hired to be able to do something else. Okay. This is all just really frustrating for those of us that know there's a simple answer. It's not brain surgery, but there's got to be a political will to do something besides reward the 20 million who are here illegally.
No, but we as a nation now, because maybe of Arizona, we have stepped into this bucket of controversy about this again. And I want to ask you, Congressman, about House Resolution 1868, because we talked about it with one of your colleagues yesterday, Duncan D. Hunter. He wants to eliminate automatic citizenship for certain families, people who are born here legally under the 14th Amendment, but he thinks that should be changed now. That is what I'm saying. This entire thing is all back on the table again. Do you agree with him that that kind of drastic action is needed?
No, I mean, it's not. We've got a drastic action as the fact that we've ignored that the Constitution does not give everyone born on U.S. soil citizenship. It gives those whose parents at the time of birth are totally subject. That's why diplomats' children don't get automatic citizenship right now, and never has, Ross. Native Americans, American Indians were not giving automatic citizenship. But what it said is that if you're a permanent resident alien here, or your parents are citizens, that if your parents can be tried for treason and can be drafted into the military, you can you get automatic citizenship. That's clear. What's happened is, since the 40s, we sort of just not worried about the details, except we still denied the diplomats' children that. So what's happened is we just need to go back to the issue that when some Saudi Arabian tourist comes into the United States and has a child, that Saudi Arabian tourist could never be drafted, could never be tried for treason. There's no obligation by that tourist to the American government. And obviously there's no way that the child can inherit citizenship from the parents in that situation.
All right, Congressman Bilbray, this is something that obviously we are all, and I know that you are one of the leaders in Washington on this, serving on committees and so on, and I know you'll keep us up to date, because this is one of those passionate issues we are all talking about, particularly as we head into May Day.
Well,
Thank
I
you
think
for being with
that
us.
passion runs wild on this, but let us
does.
have cool heads and let's do it reasonable.
All right. Thank you, Congressman. I appreciate you being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
All righty.